It's the end of the first week of the World Cup, and what drama we've experienced in the first week of this tournament. My name is Simon and welcome to The Real Football USA. In this video we're going to be going over the first round of group games in the World Cup this week in the US, Canada and Mexico. So much to talk about. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy the World Cup content, please hit the subscribe button below. I'm going to be doing regular updates after each round of the games at the World Cup. In this video, we're going to be talking about the 5 main talking points in the World Cup in the first week, and then doing a power ranking at the end for the top 10 nations so far. This one's going to be a bit surprising because the results in this tournament so far have been very, very unpredictable. But some of the superstars, including Lionel Messi, have really shown that the top level players are ready to play at this tournament. So the first talking point in the World Cup has to be the US domination of Paraguay on the second day of the tournament on the Friday. Really surprised a lot of people in this one. It was USA 4, Paraguay 1. Mauricio Pochettino's side really surprised a lot of people early on in this tournament. It was an absolute domination by the US men's national team. Mauricio Pochettino was playing some of the tactics he used to play at Spurs, very high level energy pressing, and just overwhelmed Paraguay throughout the game. Florian Balogun scoring 2 goals. And he really introduced himself into the world stage with this performance. Christian Pulisic was absolutely superb for the US. He didn't make it into the second half with a little knock, and he could be a doubt for the game against Australia on Friday. But he was absolutely superb all the way through it. The US really didn't have a bad player in their starting 11. And then obviously Gio Reyna scoring that exquisite goal to finish off the game at the end. The one thing that I would doubt about the US is that the performance level did drop off in the second half. The starting 11 is very good and actually could be one of the surprising starting 11s in this World Cup. Very, very strong, but the drop off to the bench is pretty significant. So that's one to watch there. But if you're a US fan, what a start to this tournament. Blew everyone's expectations out, and one of the greatest games in US soccer history, I think, in terms of the men's national team. The second headline from the first week of the World Cup has to be Spain's draw with Cape Verde. Incredible result. I did a video straight after the game saying this has to be up there with one of the biggest surprises and the biggest upsets in World Cup history. I've only got a population of just over 500,000 and taking on the current European champion Spain and a lot of people's favourites to win the tournament. Definitely the upset of the tournament so far. 80,000 people in Atlanta witnessed this incredible game. Cape Verde only conceded 1 foul throughout the game. Obviously the 40-year-old goalkeeper stole all the headlines. The whole team was incredible, so disciplined, and it wasn't an unjustified result. They really worked hard and Spain didn't do enough to break them down, even though they had a relentless amount of shots. But truly one of the greatest upsets in World Cup history. Number 3 has to be the Lionel Messi hat-trick against Algeria. Lionel Messi equalled Miroslav Klose's all-time World Cup scoring record. Lionel Messi was quite lucky to stay on the field, if we're being honest. That tackle where he raked down the back of one of the Algerian players' cars was pretty horrific. But you really can't take the headlines away from Messi. This is probably going to be his last international tournament. Just to confirm, he is the greatest football player of all time, in my opinion, and it's not even close. To do that at nearly 39 years old in the first game of the tournament against a pretty good defence in Algeria. A lot of people tip them to be a surprise team in this World Cup. Absolutely unbelievable. And every time people think he is done, every time they think this is the last showing of Messi, he shows up again and does something miraculous. Whether I think Argentina are going to be the strongest team leading forward, it remains to be seen. But you have to say that was a pretty emphatic first performance. And that suitably brings us to the talking point number 4, Portugal. Drawing 1-1 with the Democratic Republic of Congo in their second ever World Cup. DR Congo first played in the World Cup in 1974 under their previous name as Zaire. But what an upset this was. And it wasn't unjustified. It wasn't quite the same level of upset as Cape Verde. There were some pretty prominent Premier League footballers playing in the Congo team, including the goal scorer Yohan Wissa, who plays for Newcastle United in the Premier League. But Congo were very good, but Portugal were absolutely atrocious. To be honest, this squares at the blame of 2 men in my view. Cristiano Ronaldo and Roberto Martinez, the manager, for picking Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo is over 40 years old and he is just hanging on to this Portugal team. Portugal arguably has the most talented squad from top to bottom in the World Cup. But if they continue to play Cristiano Ronaldo, I don't think they're going to achieve anything. Honestly, it's like playing with 10 men when Ronaldo's playing. Not only is he greedy when he's trying to take all the shots, but his positioning and his running off the ball he's just over for him. He was obviously one of the greatest footballers there's ever been, but you just can't compare him to Lionel Messi, in my opinion. They're not even in the same conversation. Ronaldo has scored a huge amount of goals, but the production of Messi in a team compared to Ronaldo, it's apples and oranges, honestly. And if Portugal want any chance of winning this World Cup, they're going to have to remove Ronaldo from the starting 11, but it's just not going to happen. Headline number 5, suitably for me, is England's performance against Croatia. Now, and it was far from perfect, you have to admit. England looked quite frail in the defensive structure in the first half, conceding 2 sloppy goals. But as an English supporter, this was the most exciting World Cup performance I've seen in my lifetime. The attacking prowess that this England team has, led by Harry Kane, is absolutely incredible. Jude Bellingham backing him up. The wingers, I think, played really well as well. But the attacking and the dynamism of this England team is going to give them a chance in this World Cup. They're going to have to solidify the defence, definitely. But that can come. England previously have tried too much to be focused on the defensive side of the game. But this time they've really gone for the attacking prowess, and I think it might pay off. And you just have to say, Thomas Tuchel is the greatest coach in this tournament. Honestly, he's probably too good to be coaching in this World Cup. The best managers in the world are managing the best clubs around the world at the moment. But with Tuchel in charge, England have a genuine chance of winning this World Cup. Tactical changes he made at half-time to solidify the performance for England. And honestly, the amount of saves that the Croatian goalkeeper made, it could have ended up anything. And if you're an English supporter like me, this is very exciting times. Before we get into the power rankings, I just want to highlight the superstars of this tournament. Everyone was building up this tournament around the main few superstars, including Lionel Messi, Mbappe, Erling Haaland and Harry Kane, and all of those delivered. With at least 2 goals each in their first game, it's pretty remarkable, and you feel that this tournament is going to be defined by the superstars, and it's just such essential viewing. If you've never watched the World Cup before, and you are new to soccer and new to football, this is the tournament to watch. The games have just been of the highest calibre, and the superstars of this World Cup are all shining brightly. So we're going to go into my power rankings after the first round of games. This is obviously not who I think is going to win the tournament, but who have made the biggest impact so far. Number 10, Mexico. I thought they were really, really good in their first game at the Azteca in the opening game of the tournament, but South Africa were very poor, but they had to get the job done and they got an easy win. Number 9 is South Korea, who face off against Mexico in the game week 2 on Thursday evening. After going behind against Czechia, storming back to a 2-1 win was very impressive, and they're number 9 for me. And number 8 is a team that I did not expect to put in this list, and that is Australia. A fantastic win against Turkey. Many people's outsiders for this tournament. Comprehensively beat them 2-0. Really show what they're made of in this tournament. And it's not going to be an easy game for the US on Friday. Number 7, Ivory Coast. Really impressive win against, again, another outsider for this tournament, Ecuador. They played really well. They rode their luck at times with Ecuador hitting the post twice in the first half. But what a win for them, and a great goal to win it from Amad Diallo. Number 6 is Norway. Erling Haaland announced himself in the World Cup with his first ever pair of World Cup goals against Iraq. Obviously a pretty weak opposition in Iraq, but Haaland stamped himself onto this tournament, and while Norway have him playing, they have a chance of winning any game. Number 5 is Germany. Now, you would expect a team that wins 7-1 to be higher up on the list, but playing Curacao in their first ever tournament, a population of only 150,000, I think you have to put them down a little bit, but they looked very clinical, especially in that second half, and you can never write off the Germany team. Number 4, I'm going to put the USA. What a performance in that first game. As we've talked about in the headlines, a really comprehensive performance by the US team, and they start very strongly. Number 3 is France. A really poor first half is not putting them higher for me, but they just rode to victory against a good Senegal team in the second half. Michael Olise and Kylian Mbappe stealing the show for them, and those are 2 players that could easily win France the World Cup. Number 2 for me is England. As we've talked about, what a performance in that first game against a very good Croatian side. Not at the peak of their powers like they have been in previous tournaments, but very good nonetheless, and a top 12 team in the world, and England comprehensively beat them, and the scoreline could have really been out of control. But number 1 has to be Argentina. That Lionel Messi performance really highlighted to people that they are going to be in the final stages of this tournament. They've got depth from top to bottom, and Lionel Messi is still the greatest player in the world in my view. With him in the squad, they could easily win this tournament. That brings to the end the first week review of this World Cup. It's been such an incredible tournament so far. So many things to talk about. Make sure you follow The Real Football USA and all our social channels. The links are in the bio of this episode. Please subscribe to The Real Football USA if you enjoyed this video today. And I'll be back with the next full-length video after the second round of games. But come on, England!